I had trouble, I can't get on my hands on these stuff. Luckily, we got Lucas, right, I'm still gonna be first responding, I'm still gonna be on my hands and knees for it. They take too long to get me out.
What do you expect here for? You get a whole
Then next year.
Oh, I see what you got here. Oh, that's not you, maybe I should go back there. Look on that side of it. The shield.
We all should wear a shield protector,
Right.
But it's like anything else, now going back to the, Valley Night. It's kind of bland. That's not till December. And the sad part about it, thank you. Santa, that's Saturday. So I'll have to come back and take mine. After I take Friday night. How's your break? So, I told her, but all the slips in now, she's scared, so she's Ocean Drive, that's for years. I used to tell people, if I you see my wife sagging around, reach your fire coat pockets, there's always a.
I know, the video of my music catch
She doesn't want to know something, if she's not there.
everybody else.
And I thought, people don't realize that there's a department that does
Oh, no, I don't, we got youngest.
I went to the play once and they all know this is before I was confused. I only know why I don't start, so one way was part of it, so I'm not giving you money today. I had to send you to the hospital because you're unconscious and JC stayed in the ambulance. I gotta know something. JC, you can't give him.
Well, we just talked about that. That's why everybody I want everybody's everything, so we can write that. I got people who tablets and drugs.
They thought I was asking for some stupid. That's the main thing. I was looking at a CD list. And then they just look up the name when I'm done. I get the hospital as a chief. And give me the CD list back. It's always kept.
Yes, I did do it on my agenda.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here. Beverly, here. Karen, here. Okay. Maybe you would have somebody take notes since Stacy's not here. Beverly, would you do that? First item is our fire department report.
Evening, everyone. For the month of August, we had 23 total calls, 1 structured fire assist to Lee Township, 18 medicals, down power line, 1 vehicle accident with injuries, 1 false alarm, and 1 illegal burn. So, everybody's seen it, the sign is finished, finally, looks great.
Yes, it does.
JC's son is a millwright made some specialized bolts so we won't get the blanks ripped off that say the level of fire danger. Want to thank him for that. And so I finally got to Verizon after a couple credit card snafus, after my scheduling conflicts. I finally got to Verizon and got tablets for the trucks. Thankfully, there was credit card snafus and scheduling conflicts because we got tablets for free. So.
There you go. A blessing in the sky.
So, we're getting them set up. I had, our IT guy come out the other day to set them up, or yesterday, but our internet was down, it's back up, so I'll have him back out. We'll get it finalized, we'll get them in the trucks. Those are gonna carry information on our firefighters. They'll carry, commercial building free plans. They will have an app called eDispatch that, pulls up all the information of the call that we just received, and it has a map feature, so you just reach up, you hit the map it button, and it gives you directions right to where you're going, which is pretty helpful at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Jason?
Good evening, everybody. For the month of August 2019, I traveled 1,204 patrol miles. There were 21 property inspections completed, 3 assist other agencies, 6 assist the sheriff's department. I had a total of 29 total complaints, 3 liquor inspections, and I attended mobile action shooter training and firearms training. For Columbia Township, there were a total of 147 total dispatch calls. By department, those calls are as such: 41 EMS, 7 fire, 85 police, 5 record, 9 animal control. Police incidents are as follows: 2 OWI, 4 health and safety, 4 traffic crash, 5 assault, 1 stolen vehicle, 4 suspicious situation, 4 abandoned hazard, 3 VCSA, 3 BME, 24 general assist, 8 traffic violations, 5 larcenies, 3 MDOP, 5 trespass, 2 alarm, 3 obstructing justice, 1 retail fraud, 1 civil dispute, 1 delinquent minor, 1 recovered stolen vehicle, and 1 fraud. The B&Es, 2 of them were valid. In the first one, it was a barn and a residence that were broken into. They were both vacant. Taken were 2 tractors, golf cart, and appliances. Prints and DNA were lifted from the scene are currently at the Michigan State Police Crime Lab being analyzed. The second one, which was not valid, was a civil dispute between a landlord and a tenant. And the third one was a residence that is occupied, but the homeowner was on vacation and had actually contacted a friend to be watching the house. Bolt cutters were used to enter the residence, and chainsaws, a torch set, and car parts were taken in that manner. I'm happy to report that the 1 recovered stolen vehicle for the month was the tractor that I reported back in May that had been stolen from Geneva Township. So that was located in 1 piece. For Blight, the residents on County Road 681 completed their cleanup, and a resident on Hill Drive was contacted and is currently in the process of their cleanup. Is there any questions, comments, concerns?
388. Silver Lake Road.
Yes, sir.
Question. How many accidents have been on that road?
How many actions
People
that I've personally taken?
Yeah, people doing side swiping.
I've taken 1 in 5 years.
1 in 5 years.
And it did involve a side swiping.
Side swiping?
Yes.
No mailboxes, no hidden mailboxes?
I have not had any reported to me. That doesn't mean that it has not occurred. It is a very, very narrow roadway, and if people follow the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit there, 25 miles is way too fast with how narrow the road is.
That's why.
Why? Yeah, because it's too narrow. I mean, if you go 25 through there, at 25, it doesn't seem very fast, but in those close quarters, it can seem extremely fast.
You could go 2 miles an hour through there with 2 cars without hitting each other.
I'm not going to argue there, but I have passed people there, so. Okay. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Jason.
I don't have a report this evening for senior services, but I would like to report to the board and the folks here, personal experience that, I had this last month, and that is we had a guest at our home who needed emergency, medical services, and JC was there first, and I thought handled everything tremendously. He had the woman calmed down, checked out, all that good stuff, and I just wanted to say publicly that we really appreciated that. And I would also say, shortly after that, Pride Care was there with their carts, and they took her to Kalamazoo to the hospital, and that was fine too. Thank you.
Was that when there was found leave, or that you came to the house, or how did that happen?
In the house.
Okay.
We need one of those big thumbs up signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good report.
Dave, Pride Care?
Good evening. Good evening. For the month of August, we had 7 priority 1 calls for an average response time of 14 minutes and 7 seconds. We had 5 priority 2 calls for an average response time of 17 minutes and 21 seconds. 6 priority 3 calls for an average response time of 17 minutes and 18 seconds. Total of 18 calls with an average response time of 16 minutes and 4 seconds overall. Any questions, comments, or concerns that I can take back?
I have your report in writing, so it can help me do the minutes, or?
I'll write all these down for you. My printer put on this, so I'll write all these down and give you a piece of paper before I leave tonight. I got it back here. I think I'm all good now.
The commission is not here tonight. And moving forward. Any correspondence?
I have something for the announcement. At a lot of these meetings, we hear a lot of complaints regarding Van Buren County Road Commission, and there is a meeting coming up. They've invited local officials, and not positive to go. But at least so you know, things are moving forward. There is something coming up October 30th that officials were invited to, so that maybe by next time we'll have a little bit more to report. So just stay tuned.
Moving forward, supervisor's report, really kind of quiet the last couple of weeks. The last one, other than our emails were all messed up, and finally got those all fixed and repaired, I believe. There's still a little few glitches. Been going through every one of the road commission meetings, kind of keeping track of everything that's going on, working with them on the upcoming fiscal year. And that's really quiet.
Okay, treasurer's report, bank balances, there is something on the bulletin board back there, if you're interested in that. There's also check register back there that you can peek at. We've previously discussed combining the 2 general accounts into one, and the 2 road accounts into one, and for the sake of public record, we have it on the agenda later, I believe, to be able to do that, so it's in the records that are in the motion. Yesterday was the final day of on-time summer tax payments. It was quite busy. Summer taxes may still be paid here through February, but late fees already started taking effect today. I'd like to thank Laura Beckwith for serving as my deputy for years, including yesterday during that busyness. She's been a great help and remains my good friend. Meanwhile, Rhonda Collins has grown in her receptionist position and has expressed interest in expanding her knowledge of the Treasury duties. Effective October 1st, Rhonda will become Deputy Treasurer. I request that the clerk furnish September minutes within the 8 business days, which falls on September 27th. to enable the required bank signatures, and that Supervisor Norton would administer her oath of office by October 2nd. That's the day that you guys work together. A brief summary from the last meeting. Some of you may know if you've tried calling or emailing down here, we've been plagued by both email and landline problems this month, so we do appreciate your patience if you were one of the many people that couldn't get through. The pavilion, we've got a little bit of progress started on that. Given the proposed dates by the Bodkin family, we worked quickly to locate the existing drain field, move the existing bleachers, mark the location for new structure, and obtain zoning approval. Work began for the concrete piers. The roof framing is being done off-site. The board will have to decide whether or not to do a budget amendment for Parks and Recreation to purchase durable picnic tables. I believe back when Bodkin expressed interest in donating this, that they did express that we would get picnic tables and maintain the grill. 826, Chief Johnson, Assistant Chief Robertson, Supervisor Norton, and I followed up with Bill Mears regarding pride care handling of 3 incidents. Another follow-up meeting is scheduled for October 28 at 5. And Supervisor Norton and I sat down with Assessor Thibodeau to discuss his future plans. Retirement is not on his immediate horizon. And Supervisor Norton did commit to posting and publishing board of review dates in accordance with mandates next year. Coming up, we still need to sit down with our sexton and groundskeeper. We have a little bit of preliminary information, but we haven't got that yet. So those are a few things.
When you say groundskeeper, you talking about sheep?
It's all, yes, sir, yep. We're just working to formalize things.
Well, thank you very much for taking on the project with the pavilion with the like you said, I appreciate it. We'll take very much. She's working on that. John, cemetery, you haven't watched what you got.
Well, cemeteries I've gone through, they look good from the standpoint of being mowed. There was a water can missing at one point, and there was a wastebasket that had to be empty, but it's been taken care of, and that's good. So I'm happy with that. I've had several people come into me for meeting the neighborhood watch, and so for putting that flag up for the veterans. They think that it's a very, very good thing for the whole community to show respect in that way. And what I'm going to do there is November 11 is Veterans Day. That sign comes down, the flag's coming down because the flag light depends on sunlight. And when you get the time change and you get the darkness, then it doesn't really warrant having a flag up. So I'm planning on taking that down on Veterans Day, which is November 11th. And we will have a neighborhood watch meeting in October. I'm not sure. We're looking at October the 3rd. October the 3rd, and we'll be concentrating on we're here and you're not. And basically what we're talking about is, have you notified the police officer and filled out the forms that are necessary as far as watching your properties? We're fantastic year yet last year, as cold as it was. We had no break-ins, but as far as our members are concerned, we are a volunteer organization, so we can't cover everybody, but at the same time, it's only $5 to join, and that's been for 20 years, so some of those signs are getting a little worn out, but I will say that the situation that we had when we talked about the crime ratio in Columbia Township versus surrounding township, Jason gave about a 30-minute report at our meetings, and he compared, and we are definitely the lowest factor as far as the crime rate is concerned. And that's due to a darn good police officer. When you count how many home checks he has, it's unreal. And he does it, and the neighborhood watch has trained its people. You see something, say something, and now we're going to add, do something, but not physically. You call the 911 number and report. But when you call and you say you're a member of the neighborhood watch, that's accountability. They know that you've gone through the training that you've got as far as understanding how to see things and that type of thing. So I'm pleased with that, and I invite you to come to that October meeting, and we'll be going over what to do as winter approaches and how to prepare your house. Thank you.
John, there's forms to get this, vacation or winter watch?
Yeah, that's all.
Do you
Jason,
have those, Jason, or do we have them here in the office?
yeah, I don't know if Jason, are they here in the office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a note in my box saying you're out, but I don't have them, they're all online.
Online?
You can just pull them
On
offline.
the Marion County's website?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, somebody did ask, must be a day you weren't here now. Last I hear was
And then we give them to, where do they go, Jason, after?
They can either be brought to the office here and they'll end up in my box, or if you fill it out online, it'll automatically go through the channels and end up on my
Oh,
last.
you can submit it online?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Moving forward, planning commission report. The planning commission worked on with, the members of the audience. We had a regular meeting September 10th, just one meeting last month. One member was absent. We continued work on future land use of the master plan, and specifically we were working on the zoning map. So we had, Tasha brought in large zoning maps with current zoning on there. We worked with the people that were here, Ken and Marcia and Kate, and this couple here, who I don't know their names.
Rhonda and Jim Durrell.
Rhonda and Jim, and I think there was someone else, I don't remember, but we kind of sat there and everyone kind of grouped around us, and it was really nice to have everyone engaged like that, a little feedback back and forth, and we came up with what we think makes sense to try to address some of the spot zoning, to try to make it consistent, and to do maybe a future commercial overlay, things like that. So that's the map, and then the map will be our visual, and then we'll go back, next month we'll be working on the wording of future land use sections. So it's a process, and everybody's welcome.
The school building was sold, I understand.
Yes.
We know,
I can tell you that it was sold to a couple in South Haven.
but do we know how they plan to use
No,
it?
yes,
If it
it's not.
fits in our zoning?
It's gonna be,
As far as I know, that was being taken care of, that's what I.
Okay, I think.
it's gonna be their house.
It's gonna be a house?
It'll be a
Really?
nice big house.
Bigger
Oh,
than
that's
Brady
great,
Bunch.
that's super.
I actually spoke to her,
Did you?
just after the last meeting.
Uh-huh.
We were in South Haven, and I heard a couple talking,
Mm-hmm.
and she said they just bought the schoolhouse in Grand Junction, so I, of course, spun around and started talking to her with her plans, but they're just gonna turn it into a house. All the asbestos had been abated years ago,
Oh,
so,
how
Wonderful.
many kids?
just two, I believe, she said.
Wow.
It'll be quite a house.
Okay, this time I'm going to take some board comments and public comments. Anybody have a comment? Yes.
H. Rank, 4939-2, County Road 34. So, a couple of months ago, I know that the supervisor gave the board a copy of the medical marijuana regs as they apply to adult use. And I was at a meeting where there was a suggestion that we would be talking about those regs because the village opted out of adult use some months ago on the advice of our lawyer because she wanted us to wait until we got the state regs. So now the state regs are out. I've had a chance to look at them. Hopefully you have. We've had a here comes the planning commission, and I'm here to ask the board for one thing. We're not going to ask you for micro retailer or anything like that because as a license holder, well, I'm almost a license holder. I had my final inspection last week, so I'll have my license in a week or two. That won't fit into the town, and we don't want to waste your time with that kind of request. But the market's already changed for those of us that have medical or seeking medical marijuana licenses, in that the medical marijuana population has already dropped dramatically in Michigan. Since the adult use law has changed, that's all happened since the township made its decision. So what I want to ask you to do is to consider opting in, but only for the 5 Class A grows that you've already approved, that they can also serve direct community.
What is November 1st? That's a deadline, is that
For
the license?
applications, John.
Application.
That's right. And the advantage to the township with this approach is it doesn't require a whole rehashing of things. We're not asking for revision centers or any other licenses. Just that the 5 Class A's that you've already said yes to, that we have a chance to survive, it was going to be a much more competitive environment because the state also changed its law since you said yes, and now we're competing against very, very large facilities, some of which are in Bangor, and it's really just that. And the final thing, I don't want to go more than 3 minutes, that I want you to be mindful of is really all we're asking you to think of our crop as corn, and a truck is going to come to my facility, and it's going to pick it up, and it's going to take it away and test it, and then when it passes the test, it's going to come back to my facility, and it's going to take it out of the township, and it's going to take it to a provision center where either a medical or an adult use patient will be able to have it, but it does not get sold. We're asking you for it to be sold here in Columbia Township. Only that the Class A licenses, I represent one, there's a second one here, and there's a third that's in a little further behind that is interested. All 3 of us have talked, and we really would like to see the board take it. So, thank you.
Anybody else?
My name's Greg Huberty. I live on the very nice County Road 380 between Greensville and Jeff Lake. I was going to ask the people that bought the school, are they going to homeschool their kids?
Don't think so.
The treasurer made a comment that Mr. Thibodeau has no plans to retire. I was under the impression that this was going to be a meeting tonight that discussed his performance. Incorrect in that?
Where did you get that idea?
Someone told me that.
Somebody here?
No, someone in passing. So, but that's not the case.
It's not on the agenda tonight, but I think that knowing that step, that it's not something he's seeking for discussion, and it doesn't mean we couldn't add it to the agenda, but it wasn't.
We've created a taxpayer association of Columbia Township, TACT, T-A-C-T. I have some charter members looking for more members. And our mission, I'll just tell you what our mission statement is: to ensure fair and equitable assessments of all properties, to hold accountable the assessor concerning his treatment of taxpayers, because I was looking at this today in tax, and it's like, yeah, that's what he needs, a little tax. And 3, to ensure that all properties are classified properly. In the past year, I've had some interaction with this individual, and it was less than satisfactory. I think I've expressed that to this board, and I expressed it to the review board also. I came and asked for an FOIA request, that I had to appeal because I wasn't given what I asked for. The appeal stuff, I wasn't given what I asked for, and I'm working 60 hours a week, I don't have time to mess with appeals and all that garbage, where that's information that should be given to a taxpayer. So, I was not able to appeal to the state tax tribunal because I didn't have the proper information. And,
So there's still information you need that you don't have?
yeah, I mean, I asked for information that why my assessment was like it was, and then I was just handed a package of stuff, here you go.
Right. And you do not feel comfortable sitting down with our assessor?
I will not sit down.
Okay.
And I
Is
see a
that
note
something then
posted
that
on
you
the,
can sit down with him and gather the data?
I see a note posted that the assessor's gonna go out measuring and asking questions, he's not welcome on that property.
Like, get with me,
Okay?
and we'll sit down and we'll go over everything that you want to see, what you need, and,
All right.
and
And if anybody's interested in our little group, I have a flyer.
anybody else?
My name is Kent Clark, I live on Saddle Lake all my life. It's my understanding that Linda Norton did not put in her resignation for the charges I have against her for Public Comment Act. I think that was no. All right, so I understand this board would rather risk a lawsuit, as on video numerous times, than ask for her resignation. And by the way, this is exactly how the township lost its last lawsuit, by not admitting they were wrong.
Did you put it on there? Did you notice?
I have a comment.
J.T. Robertson, I live at 55130 County Road 384. I've also served in the capacity of a lot of different public service things. The four people I see sitting in front of me, I just wanted to thank you publicly for all of your good and hard work. I appreciate you. There are some people that are not here today that really need to step it up a little bit and do the right thing. I think it's unconscionable that our elected officials are not here on the one night a month they're supposed to. And the things that were supposed to be done over the last month, for instance, getting a marathon card for the fire department, so we can put gas in our rescue truck, so that we can go respond to our people, wasn't done. So, rather than stirring up the pot and making things worse for our township, I invite all of us to come around those people that sit before us, that we've elected, and try to help rather than open our mouths in opposition. Thank you. I got a question.
God bless you, J.C.
Anybody else?
I got a question. How many fires was there this month?
23.
How many fires?
Fires, 1.
One. One fire for all this stuff that we got, all this equipment we got one fire.
Yep.
Well, this sounds like a lot of money that's put to waste.
Ran out to
For
down
one
power
township.
line.
We've got more equipment than I think South Haven has, and we're just a township with one fire.
South Haven has a $2.5 million budget and substantially more equipment than we could ever have.
And we're part-time and we got everything.
Don't wait till you're sick to buy health insurance.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move forward and public comments at this time. Has everybody had an opportunity to look over all of the consent agenda items such as the minutes from 7:25, 8:08, and 8:20, and the expenditures? If you have not, we will call whatever hasn't been looked at and move up to the next one. Is there any questions?
I had August corrections were fairly minor that I just sent to the clerk last night. It was probably 8 o'clock. So they're minor, but they haven't, there hasn't been a chance for those to be corrected. I can tell you what I noted.
So that was August 20th?
Yes,
So let's remove the August 20, meeting minutes until those can be corrected. So,
and then there were other ones that reappeared, and as far as I know, they're fine, but I wasn't the one who asked for them to be removed, so.
July 25th was fine. And what was it on the August 20th? So are we going to, we're gonna move forward with our little consent agenda, the August 20th. And we're gonna wait for our clerk to correct them, and we'll bring it back to the next month, so we'll do that.
Would you want to make a motion to accept them with the correction?
Yeah.
I can give you a copy of it for your notes, and all I did was, it was actually just a photo on my message.
August 8th, we asked for the actual items to be attached, not to be attached to it. Physically put onto the minutes, and it was not corrected properly, so I'd like to pull that one out as well. So that would be August 8th. So August 8th and August 20th will be pulled out of the consent agenda for correction and re-brought before the board again next month.
Everything fine with, July 16, was that
July
a carryover?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was one correction I had requested, and it was made.
I don't have a July.
And July?
Got July 25th.
Okay. The only thing that I had requested was to add, under guest speakers, to add, Michael Homier from Foster Swift, and I got a correction. I assumed everybody did, apparently.
So we'll add that one as well, and then make sure we have that copy.
So for my notes then, for the July 25, did you say that was fine? I never knew what was wrong with that one in the first place. Or was that accepted last time?
No, it was not. July 25th was accepted.
Okay, so July 25th is fine, is that the only one we're accepting?
Yes. Expenditures, that's fine. But then see one expenditure that is looking at listed on here. So the NTA dues.
And I guess to tag on to JC's comment, there are a couple things I would like to just go through today, and I'd like to sign them up for marathon,
Thank you.
and I'd like to pay the MTA dues. Get it done, we don't have a lot of time. Your objection to
Now,
that?
what's the matter with the MTA?
The dues, yeah,
They've not been paid, John.
there's a little bit of time yet. They're due October 1st, I think, but they didn't show up on this report. So if they're not kind of in the hopper, we need to get that done.
So, we'll add that on the information. So, do I have a motion to accept what is left on the consent, which would be our July 25th meeting minutes and our expenditures?
So moved.
You're asking for a
Or were you asking for a
I'm
second?
second.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Additions to the agenda? and approval of our agenda. So on new business, we want to add MTA due payments. MTA dues.
And I'd like to add a PO box specific to tax.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything that we need to discuss?
Yes, I would like to add another additional street light on top of the 8th Avenue.
You know what that street light, where that street is?
Yes, it's 52nd and 380. Yes. And
Is there anybody else?
Were you asking for adding them to discussion or new business, or did it matter?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Do I have a motion to accept it?
motion to accept the agenda.
Okay, it's the road plan, it doesn't say what it is that to actually move on that price? Okay.
Yes.
That's, that's cool.
You had a road plan.
The road plan was already on there. Unfinished business, you received the.
Oh,
plan.
unfinished business. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I have a motion on the table to accept this agenda. Any second?
I'll second.
All in favor, John?
Yeah.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
And yes. First item of discussion is to schedule a 6-month EMS review.
That's internal.
Yes, that's internal, and I believe our 6 months is up in October. And we approve that like the 3rd week in October. So if we schedule something maybe around 4th week of October, would that be satisfying?
Well, one thing is what kind of format are we gonna use? Because this was a whole new budget outlook item, so should it be part of a regular meeting? I really don't want to get into special meetings.
No problem. It's not a part of a regular meeting.
Unless we need to have a smaller scale. Ahead of that, I'm looking at these guys a little bit for how they feel about just reporting as far as how you feel it's going, things that could be improved.
You wanna have us do it at one of these, because we can do that.
That's the only way we can have all of us.
Sure.
That's part of what we're asking.
Why don't we just do it next month?
Regular.
We can do that. So that would be.
May I make a suggestion? If the board has questions, if they break down the questions that they have for the fire department, send it to them, and then they can go ahead and answer those in writing. And then if the fire department has things that are issues that they have that they need the board to address, they can get you the issues, and then you guys both can change those. That would lead you into the discussion that you're gonna have at the meeting, and you probably would have a pretty good idea of what your answers are.
My first question would be, what are the perfect questions to ask?
Well, I have a list
But
of
we
them
can
right here
now-
already.
Sure.
You've got a list?
Yeah, number of personnel that they have, the training that they're getting, the
Well,
tools.
we're not doing it
Or you
tonight.
provide a list of questions and we'll ask the fire department.
You're welcome to put in some suggestions, but we're not doing that.
Right.
We're just scheduling.
So if we do it on our next meeting, do we want to meet a little bit earlier? If anybody makes sense.
I don't think we can do that.
Okay, so let's do October
Take
15th.
advance that day.
Yeah, we're gonna be here longer. So we'll just plan to do that, August 15th at our regular meeting, October 15th, we'll just use time for our agenda,
You mean October?
October.
It's can I just ask one thing of these guys? Maybe meanwhile, if you talk to the folks that have already signed up, and maybe see if they have things, if they're not sharing any issues, then
I can't be here for that meeting. Of course, I'm gonna miss that one. I've got children obligations I cannot get out of. So.
Anybody have any objections to anything? Okay. Moving on to our next item, monthly check on public access, which I've already been doing.
trying to remember, okay. So that was on the board, but we don't really know.
I've already been checking those.
So we can't
Can
hear
you
you
speak
back
up a
there.
little
I
bit?
said, I have already been doing checks on the public access.
And what are you checking for?
Making sure that they're not, that they're passed.
So we're not encroached upon.
Not encroached upon. I still have a few questions about some of them.
I was kind of wondering in general, do we have any that need any kind of improvements, or do we want to expand the use of? Are there any that aren't being used that could be used, or does the community even think that's the kind of thing we need? Just because I saw on DNR they got the recreational grant, and it would be something we need to plan like a year ahead of time to apply at the right time of year, and it might be something that we can. But I'm wondering if it's the kind of thing that it's kind of an out there to the community kind of question. Is it the kind of thing the community wants, or is it the township needs, or they want to? Because if they were improved, we would be maintaining the improvements at our expense.
Then maybe we definitely do this. We'll definitely look at it, how to look at the company.
Which ones are you currently checking?
I've checked everyone, so.
You need to speak into the microphone. You need to speak in, you're facing her, we can't hear you back here.
There was clearly. Also checking on satellite contact, and don't forget. And there's one on the other that I'm not located yet, which I've been working with Jerry to get those.
Find it on the map.
On the map, so that, I'll take some pictures of them and bring them back to you guys and let us all make a decision on what we feel we might want to do and then we go to the people.
And then that was something that I had, I thought about. I think we might even touch on this in planning commission, I'm not sure, but is there a map in existence anywhere that shows all of these?
There is one for DNR, all the ones for DNR, automatically take care of, our like, satellite contour,
For the township owned, do we have a map with township owned?
I'm thinking of Jerry's supposed to be working with me.
Okay.
He said that there, that he was in here, and then we're gonna take and get it out there. I think it's okay.
I wonder if we could make them show up on, for the map that we're working on with our master plan. It would be nice to just show all the aspects down there. Thank you.
Moving forward, Parliament 3.
Yeah, and Jason's aware that we've had people coming and asking us about it, and since Rhonda and I took, you remember, right? Fire Lane 3. We had two people come in prior to the day that you and I and Rhonda talked, and then there's been someone since then. So Rhonda, I don't know if you and Jason have talked since then. I have.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I can let everybody know that they are in the process of legally purchasing the property under land contract. There is currently a Child Protective Services investigation ongoing, which I've been out there several times with them. If there's any questions that I can answer, I'm more than willing to. There is a current ongoing investigation, though, so I can't give specifics.
Okay. I think that was the main concern. that guy that came in, yes.
I was out there last week and I removed one person, so last I believe we're down to 5 adults and 2 children.
Is there also blight and ordinance violations at this?
Well, they were camping in tents, and I had to sit down with Linda, and pretty much all of our ordinances entail RVs and not tents. But then they moved an RV in just this last week, and they were informed that there are licensing issues that have to be met with the township, and they have to pay for a permit to have that there.
And what was their feeling on that?
They seemed on board, they didn't argue with me or anything like that.
And you said they're purchasing from relatives?
No, from a gentleman named Charles Dodson, who owned, there's 7 lots there that they are purchasing from him. I spoke to him personally, and he confirmed that he is in the process of selling them all 7 lots on land contract. And what I was told their initial plan was, they were clearing the land to put in a possible trailer. They had some setbacks, one being they cut a tree down and started a fire by tearing the power lines down. I don't know, I explained to them that winter's coming fast, and it's not gonna cut it where they're doing right now, so they're gonna have to figure out some plans here real quick. And Child Protective Services explained the exact same thing.
And if other people do come in and report things to us, should we just keep referring them to you rather than?
That's fine, that's fine. They do have amenities, they're being allowed to use the residences right there for showering and water and all that stuff, so they do have access to amenities. They are just camping at this point.
Question board? I know there's some repairs that
Yeah, where'd that
to
come
the
from?
door.
What, is that the new one out?
That one just didn't come here one day, but I don't know anything about that one. And then it was there.
What do you mean, it was there?
I was told there was a new
Who
one out.
authorized it?
Who was it?
Huh?
I didn't know.
I can answer that, Bruce. Answer it.
Yeah.
The clerk put it in because the last one was broken into, the lock was ripped off of the paperwork that she had hanging in it, putting her job, I guess, in jeopardy because the papers were missing, the lock was broken off. So she opted to put a lock in, one in with a lock.
What's that, really? Okay, so who's got the key to it?
So which board are we talking about? Are we
The
talking about the
big
large
board
one
or
right
the-
now?
or the
What's
little
on our
board?
agenda?
It's the big board. The big board is what's on the agenda. It's the door needs to be adjusted.
And if someone going to do that?
I have a carpenter.
Jeffrey, or?
Yeah, why couldn't Jeff, Keith, right?
Okay, we're talking 2 different things now. We got another board out there,
Yep, and there's another board out there.
okay?
And the clerk installed that, or?
We're going to assume that
I can tell you that on the visa bills that come through, on the same month, on the supervisor's visa, there were things for locks and hinges. And on the clerk's, there was a new board. So there was definitely issues with playing nice with the board. So now they each have boards. So hopefully there won't be any broken locks. Everything can be, they can post what they need to say.
Okay, the board that's out there was donated labor, some keys.
Well, it's a very nice board. I mean,
It is very nice, and
Very
so I guess I'm wondering, can we just do that? We can just order stuff?
Well, that's what.
Up to $500, yes, we can.
Okay, we can just stick things in the ground if we want?
It would have been.
I'm just
No, I don't
wondering.
think we can
I
just
think
stick
that
things in the ground.
normally doesn't happen, but there was some damage to the big board in the process of the lock, too, apparently. The plexiglass has a crack in it. Well, whatever, and it leaks and air flows in, so the papers are flying, so there should be some kind of a seal.
Since they're both there, I think a good solution would be then to repair the large one. Let the clerk use the one that the clerk wants to use for her postings that are required to be in there, and supervisor and the community use the other boards for things that we want up there, and what we want for the community.
And everybody's happy.
Well, they're both there, so instead of.
Andy, did you make that?
Did I make that?
Yeah.
No, I made a better one than that, than both of them.
Okay.
Than the one that just went in? I made a better one than both of the ones that are out there. Now be careful, ones that don't leak.
Okay, let's move forward.
Last doesn't fall out. We're moving forward.
But did we solve what you brought it up for?
Yeah,
We're gonna have to
we're gonna repair them, we're gonna have Keith take a look at it, I'll ask him if he can take a look at it, I'll be there tomorrow. He's open up with me over there.
I'm just assuming that we can't require anyone to post on a particular board as long as it's posted where the public can see.
So, yeah, I don't think the public's gonna care if they're looking at the door or one of the boards. It would probably be good to be consistent, so.
It would probably really love it if the public could log in online and see things they need to see.
That's true. Most notices really are usually, at least.
Let's move forward. Next thing is about the recording meetings. I think we had a little bit of misunderstanding, and I did apologize on that. And to JC.
JC and Dave, then, were you made aware that the Pride Care meeting was recorded without my knowledge or Pride Care's knowledge?
But it wasn't recorded because the machine didn't work.
The attempt was made.
I don't care. I'm an open book, so whatever.
Right.
You wanna talk to me, you wanna record it all the time, go for it, I got nothing to hide. I'm
And
good.
that is, after the fact, it's really not the time to say it. It would have been courtesy to say it in advance, but the other thing
They
is,
can hand me just for me to be notified,
but just given that these meetings are recorded and they are subject to FOIA, it brought up a new thing that has not been discussed, is if you're recording it on a different device, then where does that go?
Well, it was the township
Laptop.
so it's property of the township. And it didn't.
And so a FOIA did come up for
But
it,
it didn't work, so there's no.
and you did respond to the FOIA. Okay.
Special assessment district. So we have a North Lake and Satellite assessment district. We just redid the North Lake one, and I know there's been some things going on with the Satellite. With the
That doesn't-
aeration,
Oh, that's just
and
routine.
there's some stuff going on with the Satellite, where we're working from it, that were renewed. Contract with them.
Right, our contractor does have to periodically renew his permit, but there was no renewal on that. Everything's in accordance with what was already agreed. That doesn't come up again until 2024.
So I would like to keep the whole board informed with anything that's going on, like, just in case somebody comes into the office, when one of us up here and has questions, we can answer them. And, MTA dues, have not been paid yet, so.
Yeah, but I think that we just talked about it,
So we added that to our new business. So, let's move forward, our unfinished business, our Visa card, MasterCard, for our fire department. Are you guys okay with your Visa card, is that all up to date now? So the marathon, Karen has volunteered to get that taken care of as early as possible. Is that correct?
Yep, I'll squeeze that in between taxes.
Thank you.
So, I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, we didn't ever talk about a limit, dollar limit on it. What would an expectation be for that?
500 should be fine.
That was my guess.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
So, would you like to make a motion to, 60?
I would see.
Well, that would be the credit card limit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're telling me it is, it's just for one vehicle.
Yep.
Oh, it's for gas.
It's for one,
Oh,
it's for
okay.
gas, it's for one vehicle.
So that's how we'll set it up. If I run into a snag, I'll tell somebody, but hopefully,
And I'd rather start low. If we need
Oh,
more,
yeah.
then we can bump it up. Then
Is it a pickup truck or a fire?
It's the little white S10 laser that's out here.
Oh, okay.
small SUV.
Oh, okay, vehicle.
it could turn out that there's some information that they need that I don't have, but we'll give it a whirl.
Call me.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that Karen applies for the Marathon card, not to exceed $500 on the limit.
I'll put that.
I don't know that we want to put the not to exceed
Well,
necessarily. You just
not to
establish
exceed.
a limit, and then it may, the thing is it may creep up later because most charge companies keep sneaking up the limit whether you ask for it or not.
And just so you know,
And we have to have an individual's name on it, which is possible.
I will come up with a guideline, procedure, how to use it, make sure everybody's trained on it and knows how to do it before we put it in the truck.
So, Dave, would you get with Karen during this process, to facilitate,
So is the motion to,
to establish the card with a limit of $500 additional?
okay.
I would second.
And,
Oh, sorry.
Very discussion, so now to a roll call. John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yeah.
Stacy? Yes. Motion. Right, for the township owned public access highway.
What type of sign have you got there? This one right here.
Looks like Stacy just did us some prices on some signs. One for the Saddle Lake and one for the dumpsters. Why do we need one for Saddle Lake? It should be
We
the
found
Saddle
here in
Lake.
the morning, and we found it.
Should be north,
Does anyone know what the RSA stands for? 24-inch square, I got that.
it should be not Saddle Lake, it should be Bear Lake.
Bear Lake.
Little Bear Lake.
Yes.
Oh, didn't know that. I'm sure this is just to get the price anyway, this is not actual order, this is the quote. Little Bear Lake,
Yes, it should be Little Bear Lake, so that's
Yeah.
the one we just redid.
and we talked about the dumpster sign also.
I thought we had one for it.
Like that.
So additional signs, if we need them, we can probably figure out about $50. 24-inch square sounds the right size. So are we moving forward on any of these?
I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and purchase these two signs at Fulton for $50 each. Instead of satellite, it should be Little Bear Lake, but this one, and if we need one for satellite, we'll get one later. But I'm going to reestablish.
No one knows what the RSA is.
No, we didn't get the quote.
Looks like it.
It's probably the material. For the lettering?
Probably something reflective of the LMC's.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
And maybe the A is aluminum?
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't come with an information sheet, just the quote, but that's pretty reasonable price.
I think,
So Linda, are you going to make the edits and return it to the clerk to
Yeah.
get ordered, or is someone else going to order?
Either can move it in the back.
So you're gonna
you have to respond by 9/21.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we purchase the two signs for $50.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the two.
You wanna second that, John?
Who?
You wanna second that?
Yes, the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, second.
All in favor, John?
Yeah.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Andrew? I think I should make a copy of it.
Oh, okay. Right.
So, if you look, this is part of our really plan that our committee was put together. The first year, we have been completed. Now we're looking on the second year. We're looking at, miles 1.999 to be still coded.
Okay,
So the first year is completed. Now we're moving on to the second year. Road commission is getting ready to set their budget and to order supplies. So this is what our road committee has came up with. And it was in our campus meeting we put together. So I'd like to go ahead and accept them, but they would like on the mileage with this, so that if we chose to, we could actually start doing some major repair and helping the road commission, like all the other townships do. All this, like Geneva, they pay 50% on the major roads, so they get 9%. And they don't just get ground up or ground up. Like our community did. And Geneva has completed all of their repair on the major roads, so that's gonna be more fun. If the road commission can do it in other municipalities, if they pay 50%.
Like Madawan?
Like Madawan. So I did ask Gary to give us an estimate, for County Road 388, all the way down to 53rd Street. And that was 3,700 feet, which the total estimate cost was, the estimate was $493,515. So 15% or 50% of that would be $246,757.50.
Can I ask a question? I thought the county was responsible for county roads.
They are. But if we want them repaired faster,
Understood.
and then the township pay 50% of that repair.
Okay, when are they going to take care of 380?
380, they are working on the ditching. They had to
On my
stop-
side of 380.
They had to stop because of the gap. The other end, they took all the trees down last year. They came through, they come through this year, they pulled all those stumps out, and they're getting ready to resurface it in the next couple, in the next couple of weeks. I have not gotten a direct answer from them yet as to when they're gonna start with the next phase of what that road is.
What's the next phase, chip seal?
No, it's gonna be ditching,
Ditching and stump removal and
stump removal.
I talked to the road commission representative from Bloomingdale, and when are they gonna pay that? Well, they're gonna pay it. I said, yeah, I am.
Yeah, one.
Well, they're gonna.
Well, I heard next year, and then I'm hearing rumors of 7 years from now, and it's kind of,
So I will tell you that they are in the middle of hiring a new manager over there. So I'm sure when they get all that straightened out, there's gonna be some new changes and things made on.
It's just disconcerting to me that I live on a county road that is a mess, and we're talking about repairing, fixing this county road. And I thought the county was supposed to be taking care of county roads.
They are.
And then the other thing is, I don't think it's very good practice, just to qualify, I'm a senior road inspector with Whiteman, to give out engineer estimates before bid. You know what your bids are gonna be?
Not yet.
490, 491, 492.
Yeah. So this is what they're doing right now. So it doesn't mean that we're going to do this, it's just an option. They're getting ready to do their budget, and then before everything is set in place, they're gonna have a new manager to kind of go in and change everything. So,
But they need to order materials
They need to
ahead in
order-
bulk,
right.
so they want commitments from people.
Who needs to order involved?
the road commission
So that-
orders them both.
This is a bid project that a contractor's gonna perform, not the county.
I think they put
They do
feelers out to
that's what
asphalt
they tell
plants.
us.
Oh, yeah, we don't know how much of this
Right.
is real versus.
I've been around road building for a long time.
I do think that if, more of the public from our township would go to the road commission meetings and voice their concerns, they might get tired enough of it to where they would do.
Well, I know they're trying to introduce some new blood, and I understand all that, and that's a process, and that's BS to say they gotta stop popping material. Because they're not gonna buy it and put it in their yard, they're gonna get it when they need it.
So this is just an estimate you guys need. Do you want, are we interested in that? The ideal is we want to take and add some more roads to a secondary road, have roads back up, or is there any?
These were the recommendations from the road committee that spent a whole lot more time looking at this than me, so I would be in.
Why can't they come here and tell us?
They did, John,
Yeah.
last month. Oh, you mean the road commission?
Yeah.
Oh, well, every time they come here, what do they tell us? They leave and we don't have any more information than they had.
Exactly.
Other than they don't have enough money, and we know we don't have enough money.
Maybe they need to do what they did in Berrien County, and disband the road commission and make it road.
That's in talk. That's in.
So in this road plan, the recommendation for 388, I believe that was at the request of the supervisor.
Okay.
The way they went about approaching the roads, trying to get the 3s and 4s, trying to make them come up a little bit, I think that was.
Right, if you want to keep your, rates up a little bit.
Right, so I understood that from them, of what their rationale was, so.
I just feel like for that kind of money, we're trying to give an answer because they're pressuring us saying, hey, we need to know next year if you guys are gonna load us up or not. When it should be like, well, what are you guys doing on the rest of it first? Or, and is it possible, probably not, but is it possible to approach them with, well, we don't have 50%, but we might be able to help you with 25% if you commit to the project, something like that. Is that, you don't know if you don't ask.
Good luck with that.
So, what I do want to ask them is, if we commit to anything, I would like to see what the constitution would be for them on the street, maybe we could kind of listen with that going as well. That was gonna be one of my questions, if there's any reason.
At that October meeting?
I think so.
Like, maybe if we help you with that, what can you, what might you do with that?
What could you do with 215 all the way through?
Well, they get like $9 million in benefits. And then, we have a lot of time, Lucky Township has a lot of time, but more than the others.
And Lee, the data that Lee had, did you get a copy of that? I asked for a copy of that. If I could get a copy of that from you. And
So there's like, okay. So do we want to go ahead and recommend it from our road committee for the second year, or is it writing up our people?
So you're talking about just the year two section here of 1.91. And it's important to decide that tonight because 388 can wait? Or are they all doing the same thing?
They're all doing the same.
Okay.
But I kind of got my feedback.
it's so hard because we need this. This road here needs to be in good shape, but people in the township also need their roads to work too. It's really, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
This is definitely on the high part of complaints that come in. Is roads in general, this road is most often mentioned, but certainly, you know.
And I think we were having a form to support 50% the whole.
Yeah, our road account has around $900,000. By the time you combine the two, which we're about to do.
Yeah.
So it is within the budget to do that, and frankly, I don't think we've hardly spent any money for several years. I understand people don't want to spend big dollar amounts, but if they don't see anything done.
Well, I don't know about, I don't agree with the township hoarding, for lack of a better word, but I can't think of it at the moment. Road money, it is meant to be spent on roads.
Yes.
Right.
So I would like to propose that maybe that we go ahead and just stick with our 1.9 work on the secondary roads for this upcoming year, and go ahead and split maybe the cost, providing it doesn't go any higher than this. And maybe even talking to them about 380, or out.
Can you talk to them about both roads and see if there's a way that we could get some kind of a better structured pricing deal?
So I'm gonna be down to the meeting tomorrow, so I really definitely see it to look
Okay, so what is the motion?
We don't have a motion.
You don't have a motion.
We're still in discussion.
I'd like to see progress. And I certainly, those guys spend a lot of time coming up with rationale for which road to work on when. So I feel very safe with this year 2020. And if we can, at this point, we're not actually writing them a check for this, right?
No.
We're
No.
just saying we're interested in doing this. I don't think that's sticking our neck out too much.
And this goes from the railroad tracks to
railroad tracks to.
Right, third, right here.
And they also mentioned that at the last meeting that they're trying to come up with a plan where they can, the worst sections on 388, just doing a mill and fill on just those back sections instead of doing up all of those like they did 380. So.
yeah, I think that was and it's just my personal opinion, I feel like it was a cheap shot, and they were taking it to try and sway the millage election there, but I could be completely wrong, that's my personal opinion.
So I will ask them about 380 as well, if we were to, thinking that what would the estimated cost be? Because they just said the one side, it was kind of showing the other one.
It could be that's actually already in their budget, I'd like to think that. I don't wanna offer to pay for something if
It's
they're
not
going
all
to
in
do
the
it,
budget,
but.
only certain phases are in the budget. So they did the first phase, now they're gonna budget for the next phase, and then they'll budget for the next phase, that's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and I don't like their new policy, as well as a road starts getting in bad repair, we're just gonna rubblize it.
And I believe that was started by Mr. Hummel.
Pardon me?
I said I believe that was started by Mr. Hummel.
Okay, so before that October meeting, we do meet one more time. We can move on this time, we can move next time, if you wanna try to get an additional estimate or
So
380.
And I would also ask them what are their plans for 215. That would be our 3-county road. Oh, well, there's 384, but it seems pretty good. I would say after 3 that.
So,
Where are we?
okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve our year 2 of 2020 on our secondary roads at this point. And that we do some more questioning with our road commission on our major roads.
That sounds right to me.
I'll second that. Is your voice gonna show up on the, am I gonna be able to hear you on the
I hope
recording?
so.
Because I cannot keep up with this for.
Well, the clerk will listen
All
to
in
this.
favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Motion passes. Also, said he was supposed to, on the next item, a parking lot seal crack and repair should be second. I didn't receive anything back on that, so.
As far as if we got a discount from doing both, we have a price for each one individually.
Right. But I didn't get anything there.
Did you want it done this season?
Oh, yeah. There's a pretty major crack running through the parking lot, and I don't want it freezing and thawing and blowing the parking lot apart, especially with the trucks moving over it.
I'd like to at least move forward on the fire department. They had their price a month earlier. There's the 3 somewhere. I need notes somewhere in there. I want to say theirs was 3,800 or something like that. Does that sound right? It seems like it was just under.
I think it was just under 4.
I don't recall at this point, I'm sorry. It's just a department. Now, I would like to ask, we had a spot in our main sewer line that went from the building to the septic that split. They had to fix it. To fix it, they had to cut up a little chunk in the back of the parking lot. I would like to get you know, when you do your NTE price, maybe add, you know, $750 onto it, so I can ask them if they can repair that. If they can't repair that, then I'll just get some cold patch, I'll throw it in there, run it over a few times, and, cause right now it's just dirt. I mean, it's only a 2 foot by 3 foot chunk, but I mean, I'd like it repaired, cause I'm always worried about, you know, just trying to park it out with a freeze thaw thing, so. If they could fix it, great, if not, I'll just get cold patch and throw it in the hole and run over it and flatten it out, and they can seal it in there, so.
Oh, I thought we approved it as it was. I wrote down approved clerk to request discount for both. We were approving both last
Yeah,
time,
that's what I thought we
hoping
did.
for a slightly better price. $43.15 for here and $32.10 for you guys.
So, if you approve the fire department, if we could do a not to exceed 4,000,
To give you that.
just to give us, just for them to do a little repair if they can.
So they had $795 for crack repair, but that's not what you're referring to. I don't think.
No.
It's more of a patch.
Yeah, I'm looking for $750 extra, over and above their bid, or up to 4,000, whatever.
I'd like to at least release that, and I have a hunch Tustin's isn't gonna give a discount anyway, because they may not be able to do them at the same time, or.
So we're approving the fire department annually?
So, let's just go ahead and go with what we have, and then with our estimate.
Yeah, it's likely that's how it would have turned out anyway, but.
So I would like to go ahead and make a motion to accept the custom bid for the township in the amount of $4,315, and the one for the fire department with the same company, not to exceed $4,000.
Second that.
I would, say that just for safekeeping, we should round the haul up a little bit too, as far as the not to exceed, because this is just an estimate, and it is possible the actual bill will be a little bit different.
We're going to not to exceed $5,000.
That should cover it.
Okay, let me repeat my motion to accept the custom bidding, not to exceed $5,000 for the township, and then the same company, custom for the fire department, not to exceed $4,000. Everyone, you still second that motion?
Yes.
All in favor, John?
Yeah.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Linda, yes. Motion passes. Okay. Moving on.
Was someone from the board gonna call them to get this rolling, or did you want me to call to get the fire department? You guys call?
Would you please call the fire department, from the fire department, get that rolling, please?
So you can coordinate if you have to move vehicles or something.
And you were gonna call for here.
Yes.
And for here, who's doing it? Making the call? Is that you? Establish somebody to do it.
I'll call tomorrow, and I'll actually just ask them if there's any way we could get a little something for having both of them done.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
That's right, you don't know,
Just
they're
say it
going
that
to,
way, too.
I'll follow up with the social as
I
well,
will.
So, we'll tag team. Okay, moving forward. New business, audit approval. Karen, I know you were working with our auditors, would you like to give us some information on that?
Just making sure we're tracking on our, yeah, I'm just looking at our agenda and making sure we're in sync, because I had previous agenda. Yeah, I think that's where we are.
I thought we added.
Yes,
We did, but still, that was the next item, new business audit approval is next on here. I did do, somewhat of a review of that, and it looked fairly typical to past years. Yeah, the funds were going the right direction, they were going the wrong direction. So, at a cursory review, I had no issues with it, it looked proper and.
I agree with you as well.
Did you want to?
I haven't seen it.
You didn't get a copy of the audit?
No.
We
shouldn't, I don't know that we should approve it if everybody hasn't seen it.
So we'll table that to next week. So I'm gonna make a motion that we table the audit approval until next month to October 15th.
We probably didn't get it because it's so long.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second to?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yeah.
And a yes. Okay. Moving forward, Beverly's been working on our street lights. I did get another request from a resident to add a street light on 8th Avenue and 46th Street at the T. And I know, Beverly, you had one from 52nd to kind of goes to 80, is that correct?
At the T.
At the T.
And then, of course, there was the one over by Jeff the Lake, but the way it's located, they would need access on someone's property, and no one will give the access.
No one will do the extra.
And they are doing them with, they're no longer doing the hang across, because they said they're too hard to maintain, but when they just put up the pole like, the one on 380, the pricing they had given on that was $100. And I believe they're, also going to be LED.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like me to contact him and get pricing on the other one and then move forward with them when we've got all of that in place and make sure that they can go there and we don't run into the same access thing and.
I'm requesting that you contact consumers and get the prices so they can bring it back to our next meeting on October 15th. So we can adjust it and get it lower with the prices. Moving forward, Karen has brought it to our attention that we need to force our old road account into our local road account. We have two road accounts that need to be combined into, for some reason, we have two, they need to be combined into one. So, the motion to combine those.
I would move to transfer funds from road number 2 to our current road fund. And then close the account for road number 2. I'm not aware of why we had 2 to begin with. I'm sure there's a reason.
Do you have a picture for that?
I'll second it.
Liz and Marie, let's do a roll call. John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Moving forward, closing the old general fund into the current general fund. That's another, bank account that needs to be
Similar
combined.
situation.
Yeah, similar situation.
Was there some kind of reason where, like, maybe the one bank only insures a certain amount or something, and that's why you put it in different places? Or is it just exist a different number account here?
They're an actual bank account.
They're in two
But
different,
they're separate. I'm talking about bank accounts, not the line items funds.
okay.
But they're both, the old general and the old road are just inactive accounts. And so every month, we're reconciling 12 accounts. We whittled it down to 10.
Yeah.
And that's appealing.
They're inactive, but they have money
They have
in them?
money in them, and the only activity is a little interest, which we would still get if we pledged that to the other. And as far as any old records on these, those still exist. I mean, it's not like we're erasing them from existence, but it would be combining them. And I just don't see any purpose for them.
Oh, I was just trying to figure out why they would have done that, and the only thing I could think would be the, what is that, the FDIC limit, the insurance. Unless it came from different places.
And it could be that, well, I'm sure there must have been rationale at the time, but I did run it by our auditors, so no reason to keep doing it. So, we would just streamline a little bit. Yes. Transfer from old general account 2 to the current general account. And then close out the old general that was in the empty.
I'll second that one.
All in favor of the amendment, John?
Yep.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. MTA dues.
Oh, yeah, I'm beyond that.
MTA, dues, we received a total of 3 invoices now. First one was May 15th of 2019, the second one was July 10th of 2019. I got a letter from them saying that, we are choosing overdue.
I do not know why, I have seen a copy.
So, I would like to see that we get it done ASAP so we can continue with our.
Right, we don't want our services to lapse.
So,
And I'll, inquire of our clerk first, make sure we don't double up.
Do we need board approval because of the amount, or is that just something that we
No, that's
automatically
something.
do?
It is a renewal, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
Don't
think you should
typically,
do it.
but if you want to, you can.
so
I'm just asking if that's what we need to do.
Better safe than sorry,
what I'd like to do
probably.
is, make a motion that the MTA dues get paid as soon as possible, by the clerk preferably. If something comes up that she can't do that ASAP, then I'm making a motion that Karen, we're gonna make that payment and get it up to the.
Can we give a buy date instead of
Yes.
ASAP?
Yes, that's due
Yes,
by,
due October 1st, right?
Yeah, October 1st.
and today is the 17th,
Right.
so.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time yet.
So I'm gonna say by the 19th of September.
That would be this week.
That's this week, to get the check cut. Because if it
If
goes in
you
the
say
mail.
the 20th, because then I'm in on Friday, and then I can sign it if it's
So
ready.
we'll give the clerk until the 19th to get that check cut, and by the 20th, if it hasn't been cut by the 19th, and then we don't get it by the 20th, then go ahead and make a motion that you continue to pay that on the 20th of September. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Any other discussion on it? Roll call, John?
Yep.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. And it could be, the clerk might have been waiting for this meeting to
Could
make
be.
sure it was good.
So let's just make sure we're covered and we'll get that taken care of. And then I can, moving forward, item number 6 in our new business, PO box to establish a PO box for our taxes.
Yes, I did talk to the county, and I said, you know, we get a lot of complaints from people as far as the mail and, how long it takes to get here, and get entered, and clear their checks, and this isn't going to cure everything. I'm pretty convinced it is in fact U.S. Post Office, but I think it will improve a little bit. The clerk and I don't work on the same days. I have maybe a day that I know I can devote the whole day to taxes, but if the checks aren't there to do, I still can't work with them. So the county did say other townships do this. And it's pretty simple to establish because every season we have to give new information for our tax bills before they go out. The new P.O. box is no biggie, we can put it on the website. I'm sure some mail will still go to the other box, but this will get the vast majority of the taxes, which are the ones that are time sensitive, for me. It's roughly, I want to say $54 a year, it's something like that, it's pretty minimal. It's less than $100 a year. And if it turns out it's of no benefit, we don't have to keep doing it, though.
And will you, check the box, because you have to go there to get the.
Right, because this one, I mean, that's my whole intent is that because this is for taxes, that I'm the one checking the box, or the treasurer,
That makes
checking
sense.
the box. I would say if I can, that would be next in line.
So, I would like to go ahead and move forward and make a motion that we establish a new P.O. box for our taxes.
Second.
And Monique, yes, all in favor, John?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Linda, yes. Motion carries. Okay, moving forward, we're at public comments, one more time, Jeff?
Beverly, I think you had a great idea about asking the road commission, trying to deal with them. You won't get an answer to the question unless you ask it. Personal life, if somebody's selling something and I want it, I think it's a good deal, I just buy it. I don't try to deal with stuff in my personal life. On the fire department, everything I buy, I deal with people and try to get it lowered, and like tomorrow, I'm gonna work with Customs and try to get a better deal for us on the asphalt. You'll never get an answer if you don't ask. And what's the worst you're gonna say? So,
You're already saying.
yeah. So, I mean, definitely, trying to deal with them to get our roads fixed is a great idea.
Anybody else? Yes. Stand, please.
Dave, to follow you up on that, I've been going to the road commission meetings. They do have a tendency to talk circles.
Oh, yeah.
Stand up, please. State your name.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm Steve Augusta from Reedsville. And about the question he was saying, you go to the road commission meetings, they do have a tendency to talk circles, and you can't get a straight answer out of none of them. No matter what you ask, you ain't gonna get it. So just to give you guys information, we've had our roundabouts through Reedsville with them too. So, but it don't hurt to ask and throw a curveball and keep quizzing them on different ways.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? Yes,
Gary Gross, 08164 51.5 Street. I just want to mention, if anybody has noticed, the structure just west of the tracks belongs to a entrepreneur goes by the name of Mr. Stump Grandy. It's a very nice structure. It adds to the community, I think, in my opinion. He's done a very good job, and I'm glad that the board granted the variance for him. I hope that the structure that's going up next to the restaurant by the car lot follow suit. We need more of those type of people in this community if you want it to grow and have some pride of ownership and pride in your village itself. All I hear is a lot of negativity here. I like to maybe sometimes just stop and count your blessings.
Anybody else?
I got 24 questions. Are we installing anything on these accesses that we know that we have, like Bear Lake and the one on Saddle? Some pipes that define what we own, instead of having to keep going through this all the time, every time somebody tries to grab the property or claims it as their own or what have you, that we keep going through this and having to pay for resurveys and lawyers and all this, instead of just putting up a defined area showing what's owned. And then, was there anything done about the EMT, I think that was found sleeping on the job? Was there one caught sleeping on the job? Dismissed? Yeah, very good.
Anybody else? This time we're gonna close this public comment at 8:50. Fourth comment, Beverly. I'm still writing. Okay. I told you our kids tonight, sorry. John?
Nope.
No comment. Good. Karen?
Sure. We've talked a little bit earlier about, for me as a tax collector, which I hate that phrase. Of course, people, when they come in, they mention things, and, actually, most people are very pleasant about paying their taxes. But the complaints I hear the most often from our citizens have pretty consistently been either about blight or road conditions. So I can tell you for myself, I've been anxious to hear, I've been really waiting for a road plan. And, I do want to commend Linda Norton for adding Dave Reba to the road committee. He and Elliot Elrod compiled a study into a professional packet that is now enabling the township to move forward on what I consider to be one of the top priority items. So I just want to thank you for that.
Beverly?
Oh, I hate to say no comment. My husband will tell you, I just can't. But, with all the back and forth that's going on here, I just want to say that some of it's negative and it's uncomfortable, but it's all good because there's a decent amount of people in this room that are taking part in what our country is supposed to be about, which is civil discourse, being able to agree, disagree, come together to get things done, fix things that need fixing if we can. And I'd just like to thank everyone that's taken their time to come out, and that's it.
My final comment, I just want to thank the board for all the open dialogue. It's been really nice to be able to have the open dialogue and get everybody's input on everything. And thank you guys all for coming tonight. Very appreciate it. I'd like to make a motion to.
So I love you, Tim.
All right.
Yeah, I know it.